tiny, oil-rich country called the United Arab Emirates. Over the course of just a few decades, it's transformed itself from a spit of sand about the size of Rhode Island into the Singapore of the Middle East. What are you trying to do here? What do you want this place to be?
I want it to be number one. Not in the region, but in the world.
What do you mean number one in the world?
In everything. High education, health, housing. Just making my people the highest way of living.
Okay, so we made it here past security. That was an absolute disaster. I accidentally booked a flight for yesterday, and I did this through Amex Flight Points. So I essentially had a business class seat for free, and it was yesterday. I go through this whole disaster. They did not let me transfer the points over. I absolutely lost it because that was a ton of points, just completely shot and gone. That's just a lot of money. Got a business class seat for $2,800, and in my head, I'm thinking, why the hell did you just pay that? Why did you not just save money and get an economy seat? Yes, I made a mistake. Yes, I should not be upset because I was frustrated I didn't get my business class seat, but this is perspective, and this is exactly what this entire trip is going to be about, is that I was very upset. My perspective was different than somebody else who would love to have a business class seat. Now, it's a valid reasoning to have an emotional feeling like that, right? But the perspective I see is that because I spent $2,800 for that seat, I'm going to work a whole lot harder. And that perspective shift of motivating me to make even more money would probably not have happened if I didn't have that disaster. The other perspective is all of the people here. Some are going on vacation. Some are going to see family. Some are going on a trip they do not want to go on. And some are super excited and some are not. So it's different perspectives from everybody. Just comes down to what can you take out of those moments and things that are ruining your emotions and turn into something great. And I'm not going to lie, that situation definitely got to me. So here in the Amex Lounge, it's incredible food, incredible drinks, incredible experience, right? Then if you look down here, it's just an average kind of boring airport experience. Now, I'm not saying if you're up here, you're better than anybody else. That's not the case, but it's two completely different perspectives. And it's really interesting how not much actually has to change for a perspective to change. All it literally was me going up one elevator and the whole experience has massively changed. And again, it's interesting. Some people see travel as work. Some people see travel as vacation. Some people see it as a getaway. Some people see it as the same life. Like that is their life. It's just different perspectives.
I'm Mr. Paint a picture, symbolizing while reading scriptures, praying for a difference in money making and getting richer, praying that my brothers go kill the trauma, not kill a nigga.
Just for the take home, everything should be.
So we're here in the Emirates business class lounge. And the perspective to think about is society trains us to surrender to our perspective of experts, right? If somebody's an expert in something, they know what they're talking about. But the problem is that too many times that people never think beyond experts. I'll give an example. Let's say you have an expert mentor, right? And they know what they're talking about. And too often, we only listen to what they say. And don't get me wrong, they know what they're talking about. But realize this, 99% of the time, they've plateaued because they have been trained to believe that they know it all and there's nothing really more because they are the best at what they say they know. And so this is the same thing with society. We think that we're just part of the norm, so this is all we kind of really know. So in order for us to get out of that norm, in order for us to create things that humans have never seen, right, to think beyond the norm, we got to think beyond the top experts in the world. This is how the Wright brothers created airplanes. They had to think well beyond what any expert of humanity has ever created. And to see the progression of humanity, this is that type of thinking, is thinking that no one has ever gone to the level of. Okay, so we have about 2 hours left on the flight. Right now it's breakfast time. And we've got omelet, sausage, fruit, and then we're watching some stuff about the universe. And yeah, and I'm literally in space right now, so.
Under the city lights, wherever the wind go take us. If it's good, we make it contagious.
We have made it to Dubai, and this is a really interesting perspective. We're about to go to the top of the Burj Khalifa, so we're gonna see the whole world literally at a completely different angle that almost no one really sees it at unless they go up there.
Two more.
Even by me telling you that this is an incredible view and that it's really, really cool and all this stuff, the perspective that I'm trying to give still won't be able to be processed or understood because you can only see the perspective that I'm seeing unless you are actually here. And that is what perspective really is when you look at things. So here's what's really interesting. They say that when an astronaut goes to space for the first time and they see the Earth, their perspective of humanity and of what life actually is massively changes because their perspective that they're seeing things is completely different than what they're used to. So as an example, they literally are looking at the Earth as if it's a bunch of ants, right? And they're looking at the Earth as one. And that's a completely different perspective that the human brain has ever even seen things. And that's why when they look at it from that lens of being in space, their whole life massively changes.
Maybe we could be friends more. I got a job, but I be free on the weekends for sure. I ain't shallow, rather hop in your deep and me and more. She a short shot of something to think to lean on. I don't take a thing too light, so when you like, you be doing your thing. I know you right, been a minute since I met you by now. I know you right, like a motherfucker. Fuck what they saying, I hold you tight. Told the world I need a break like a drum roll. Plus you got enough soul. I speak and my tongue goes a mile a minute and mind your eye.
All right, morning workout done. That's a wrap of perspective. You guys saw business class. See, I don't fly Emirates business class all the time, okay? I'm not a billionaire, but one day I will be. It'll be for something. It's changing your life and so many others, not taking money. But I'll tell you guys a quick story. So let me sit down. I was at a coffee shop, Marina Bay Yacht Club. Opened the door to go out, to look at the amazing view, just have that perspective like, wow, this is so incredible. And I forgot to shut the door. So sorry. So it was open, kind of some heat was coming in. This guy behind me is a little bit older. He's probably in his 60s, maybe late 60s. He starts rolling his eyes. He comes up and I hear a voice. He says, shut the door. It's like, what the? And he's like, he doesn't work there. And he's really pissed off. So I was like, hey, sorry, I'm gonna shut the door. And by the way, he's in like, probably like one of the most amazing coffee shops I've ever been to in the world. AC is perfect, coffee's perfect, everything's perfect. That one moment of 2 seconds of heat wasn't so perfect for him. So then, come back in, so I had to open the door. He looks at me again like, are you serious? Like, you're gonna let heat hit me for 2 seconds like that? And he rolls his eyes at me, and so I just stare at him. And I rolled my eyes at him. So now there's like this energy heat. And I walk outside and had to go, into the heat. And the perspective check was like, okay, he's probably got $1 billion. Probably hates his life, probably hates what he does. His whole perspective is just different than what my perspective was of looking at these amazing buildings for 2 seconds. And for somebody on here who's never even been to Dubai, right? Like they get here and they're shocked and they don't have $1 billion. And he's just tired of life, right? Like it's just sad. And that's why what we're doing here on this channel is like, we're here to show you how we're gonna make money, we're gonna change lives. Your life will change, my life will change. And we're gonna see things in a whole different perspective. So if you haven't subscribed, thank you so much. Welcome to One Story, and I'll see you guys in the next one.